Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, gonna take a look in the Soulforge, tell you what I think is good and bad in there, gonna take a look at this weekly event troop, the Spore, show you a really cool, very easy world event team, and a Underspire team too. So let's start off with this Spore thingy, let's take a look at this, see what it does, see if it's any good. Deals magic-based damage to an enemy. If they are bleeding, then dispel, curse, and drain 3 mana from them. Gain bonus purple mana from purple gem matches is handy because it uses purple, and a 10% chance to create a bleed gem when its turn begins, and gain 1 magic when an ally casts a spell is actually not too bad for the first trait, but yeah, it does create has a chance to anyway, create a bleed gem, but that second part of the spell, the dispel, curse, and drain 3 mana from them, only comes into play if they are bleeding, making it much less useful than what it would have been if that was just a part of the spell, just full stop. So it's still okay, it's not entirely useless, but I'm going to give it a very average 5 out of 10. But as ever, get it all the way to Mythic if you can spare the glory. Anyway, my girlfriend the other day, she said to me, well, I asked her actually, if sneezing a lot makes you sneezy and sleeping a lot makes you sleepy, what's the word for someone that's coughing a lot? She said, coffee? I said, yes please, milk with 2 sugars. Yeah, I know a lot of you probably saw that one coming, but I'll chuck another one in then. I'll chuck in a freebie because that one was a little bit maybe obvious. But I was reading a horror story the other day in Braille. Something bad was about to happen. I could feel it. Alright. Let's go into the Soulforge. Let's first of all take a look at these weapons. Oh my god, it's so bad. I'm not going to go over the ones that are here all the time. They're in my Soulforge extra video. I'll put a link to that in the description below. So first up we have the first thing that's not here all the time, the Doomed Cauldron. Gives magic +1 life to all allies with a +2 per tempering level boost. Then give all other allies 5 mana. If the enemy has a doom, give them 4 more. For each purple enemy, give 2 magic to all allies. So a lot going on there to make sure you get the most out of that, which is rarely going to happen these days, especially the part with the doom. And you have to be against purple enemies to basically give 2 magic to all allies. So, and life, it's not the best thing. You're not going to win. Well, you can just prolong battle sometimes by giving more life, but yeah, it's not as good as the damaging doomed weapon. So it's one of the collectible ones for me. Nothing too essential about that. Grasping Grimoire. Deal magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by Mystic allies. Then create a mix of 6 yellow and purple gems for each Mystic ally. So I do like these weapons. They do work pretty well, but you do have to make sure that you've got, in this case, Mystic allies in your team that use yellow or purple. Otherwise you're creating all that mana for nothing, because this one uses blue and brown to get charged. So if your team consists of Mystic allies that use yellow or purple, then it can be a very good mana generator indeed. The Staff of Otherworlds, very similar but in a different colour mix. Does damage to an enemy boosted by a Karakoth allies this time. Then create a mix of 6 purple and brown gems for each Karakoth ally. This one uses red and yellow. This one creates purple and brown, so make sure your Karakoth allies, at least a couple of them, are in your team that use purple and or brown to make the most of all the lovely mana. Another one, look. Deal damage to an enemy boosted by Daemon allies. This is the Infernal Voyage. Then create a mix of 6 red and purple gems for each Daemon ally. If you don't know the score by now, there's no hope. This uses blue and brown, creates red and purple. Make sure them couple of demons in your team use red and or purple to make the most of that lovely, jubbly, juicy mana. The Tome of Karakoth. Remove all purple gems with no effect, just taken away as if they didn't exist. Then deal magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by gems removed. If the enemy is from Karakoth, or if the battle is in Karakoth, deal double damage. One of these ones you're never really going to use, but they're very cheap to get at a mere 75 diamonds. And that makes them useful because you can then have another weapon powered up fully, and then you can actually advance your kingdoms later on in the game. So they're very handy for that kind of reason too. Old Mage's Staff. Good old explodey summony weapon here. Explode magic +1 purple gems grant a random status effect to all Karakoth allies, then summon a Karakoth troop. Lots of mana gen, providing there's a decent amount of purple on the board. Status effects and a summon can save you in many events that summon. And make it annoying for teams to fight against as well in PvP and things like that. Anything with a summon sometimes can be just irritating. Good old Wand of Stars, absolutely fantastic weapon, best one in the game. Create 6 elemental stars, bless all allies, or create 7 umbral stars and curse all enemies. Really fantastic with that option of the bless and or curse. And yeah, you can just cast it based on what's on the board. If there's a higher amount of yellow or purple, it's going to make typically the curse option more reliable, and if all the other colours are there instead, it can make the bless option more reliable. So yeah, very, very good weapon indeed. Absolutely amazing. Can backfire, so you do have to be careful. It's not like foolproof. I mean, people use it all the time now anyway, so it's like, and it can backfire. And if it was completely foolproof, then you'd never use any other weapon pretty much ever unless restricted. It is that good. And what we have next, we have a oh, we've run out already. The Emerald Censer. Deal magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by purple allies and mystic allies. So a basic weapon with basic damage weapon with a boost. Does have enchanting though, which is good. So when you cast it, it becomes enchanted, which means it's getting a couple of mana every round, which means it's gonna be ready to cast sooner rather than later. And if you have a Dark Engraver sneaking around and shuffling around at the bottom like a sneaky hidden Dark Engraver, dealing magic +3 damage to an enemy and then drain 3 mana for each undead ally. You must have an undead team basically to get the most out of that drain mana ability, and after that it's just basic damage. So nothing really essential there at all regarding weapons. So if you still haven't got the Wand of Stars, this is a really good time to pick it up, because there's, like I say, there's nothing really essential here at all. There's a couple of good ones, of course, as there usually is, but nothing essential. So yeah, if you haven't got the Wand of Stars and you're still waiting to get it, that's kind of obvious. I don't know why I said that, but I did. And you can afford the resources, that's basically what I meant, then brilliant week to pick up the Wand of Stars, because there's quite often essential weapons at other time which are only going to be there that week, so you kind of have to get those essential weapons, and that may cause you to run out of resources to get the Wand of Stars. So yeah, get the Wand of Stars today if you can. Right, little sip of my drink, then we'll go on to the troops. Same as weapons. All the ones here on a regular basis are in my Soulforge extra video. But if you're a newer player, always take a look at these summoning stones. Really, really good way to pick up some new troops. As a new player, you're looking for goblins. They're really good. They gain an extra turn. You're looking for empowered troops. They're the ones that start with full mana. Let's have a little look through. Looking at things like Mercy. Starts battles with full mana. Really, really good. Gives magic-based life to the weakest ally. Transforms purple to yellow to boost the effect and cleanse all allies. Those annoying teams where you start off entangled or frozen or something, and you can use Mercy. She's really good. You can just cast her straight away, get that cleanse, get some more life, and if the purple to yellow combine as well, then obviously that makes it a really handy cast immediately. So yeah, very good indeed is Mercy. What else we got here? Anybody too essential then? Not really. Yeah, have a little look through and see what you like. Thrall is really good, but does get more powerful as you get more powerful. Very weak at first, but as you grow with the game, he just gets better and better. Right, so that's that bit done. That was easy. So let's take a look at the mythics now. We'll start at the bottom and work our way up. And first of all, we have the Bane of Ambition. This is a really, really good troop and a lot of fun at the same time, particularly because of that Shroud of Skulls. Create a Bone Storm when my turn begins. That means that skulls are going to fall more than any other colour or any other gem type, and that can be really, really handy in skull-based teams. Impervious as well. Immune to all status effects. Devour, Lycanthropy and Mana Burn. And explode a brown gem at the start of battle. Gives a little bit of mana, or a lot of mana if you get lucky with a forthcoming cascade. But the spell is if there are 13 or more skulls, and remember we've got this Bone Storm at all time, devour an enemy. So that can be really good already, because, you know, if you create some skulls as well with another troop, there'll be often more than 13 skulls on the board, which is really, really cool. You can then just devour an enemy outright, which is going to add their attack, armor, and life to your own, making the Bane of Ambition very strong indeed. If that fails, you can deal either double magic, true damage to them, and then create 9 skulls. So really, really cool. Really cool. I do like Bane of Ambition, a very fun troop indeed. And we have Arc Druid Blackwood next up, doing true damage to all enemies, magic +2, pretty cool. Boosted by Entangled Gems, then disease them all. And creates 2 Entangled Gems when his turn begins, which means that that spell gets boosted constantly all the time those Entangled Gems are on the board. Impervious as well, immune to all status effects, Devour, Lycanthropy and Mana Burn, and a 25% chance to summon a Dryad on death. Don't really want him to die, but it's always handy if that works out. Anyway, so it's there and it's better than doing something stupid like give 2 life to yourself or something, but like a lot of those rubbishy first sort of traits. Much better to have something that's actually useful. Not saying the +2 life thing when it's there isn't unuseful, because obviously if you got hit by something and you survived by 1 life, that means without that +2 life you'd have died, but yeah, it's just not as useful as that one is what I'm basically suggesting. Lunarelion is the dragon on rotation. This is the one, Lunarelion, Lunar, it's to do with the cosmos, so it's going to be to do with crafting Stellarix, and if it's the last one that you need on your path to crafting Stellarix, then it's probably worth the extra Dragonite. I mean, it is extra, but it's guaranteed. Stops you getting all those annoying duplicates, which can be really irritating. Like I say, if it's early days still, and you're still collecting them just in general, I wouldn't do this. Even if you're like 2 dragons away, it's debatable whether it's worth the extra Dragonite, but it depends upon how lucky you are regarding those duplicates and avoiding them. It's like rolling a 6-sided dice. When you only need 1 of these dragons, it's like rolling dice and needing a 6. You can just fail like 10, 20 times in a row just by pure bad luck. You could also roll it and get it first time. It's all about do you feel lucky, as Dirty Harry Clint Eastwood once said. And old films, but they're good ones. Really good. Anyway, not talking about Clint Eastwood films. Talking about is it worth the Dragonite or not? It is, if you get lucky, not if you get unlucky. So you take your choice and you pay your Dragonite. But I'd rather myself, if it was the last one I needed, certainly pay the extra to guarantee it. Alright, who is next? Dead Captain Grimm. Deals magic-based damage to all enemies, boosted by Booty Gems and my treasure maps. Then create 3 Booty Gems and gain 2 treasure maps. Create 1 Booty Gem when my turn begins. He also has Undying and does gain 2 bonus gold on 4 or 5 gem matches. Yeah, it's not very good. It's really not very good. And the Sparkinator. Kind of expected a bit more from this, being though it's like based on the Terminator. Quite clearly, the Sparkinator, and he'll be back. It does steal armor from all enemies, so you take it from them and add it to your own, which can make it really, really tanky. Then create 10 bomb gems and explode a random gem, which can create a chain reaction on those bomb gems, and exploding them and getting loads more mana back as well. It does have reduced damage from skulls by 25%, reduced damage from spells by 25%. So both skulls and spells reduce damage and gain 8 armor when matching red gems, which if you do that in a red storm, that can add up really, really quickly. And as well as that steel armor, this thing can be really, really tanky. It just makes for a really slow game. It's not everyone's cup of tea at all. And in mech, it's very easy to get a 50% mana start with it. It's just slow going. It can be really annoying for other people, or make you very tanky. It's just a slow game. So for most people, it is not a very fun troop to use. And is that it? Yes, I think it is. Now let's take a look at the legendaries quickly. Got Nimue first of all. Very, very good troop this. Do like a bit of Nimue. Transforms yellow to skulls and red to purple. Then silence the 2 strongest enemies. So good spell. Sometimes you have to wait for that alignment though, which can be annoying because you can be charged and you're not getting the alignment on them skulls to be able to cast it. So you're just going to set the enemy up, or you don't get enough mana from it, or it's not making a 4 match. So that's the only downside to those type of troops. But silence the 2 strongest enemies is very, very good indeed. Silence troops cannot collect mana or cast spells, which is very, very powerful. The traits: Magic Heart, gain 1 life for each purple ally. All enemies lose 2 random skill points and steal 4 life from the first enemy when matching green gems, which is what you do to charge her up anyway. So pretty nifty is Nimue, as is Lust. Charm an enemy who is charmed basically attacks their own team, which is quite funny. And there's a 40% chance to transform them into a succubus or incubus. Got no idea what she means by charm dressed like that. Not a clue. Not an inkling. Anyway, traits. Explode a purple gem at the start of battle. He has Mana Shield, immune to Mana Burn, Mana Drain and Mana Steal. And Temptation is actually surprisingly powerful. Charm a random enemy when an ally dies. So, get killed or somebody on their team dies, she charms someone else and they can actually end up killing themselves from that, which is kind of funny. Anyway, Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. I'm not suggesting she's that kind of girl at all. Frost Feather. Deals damage to all enemies. If there's no storm, curse all enemies. So nice damage to all. And curse as well. And freeze all enemies when I die. Is a good kind of counter sometimes to goblin teams, if you can use this. Because if they get going, then basically they become unstoppable until they loop. What the hell? And you die. But if this is up top and it's received like a skull hit or something, like that, and then ends up dying first, you're going to freeze all the enemies. Then them goblins will be stopped in their tracks. So it's actually a way to stop the goblins looping indefinitely. You still put you on the back foot, of course, because you've lost a troop. But the point is, it does stop it. And if you've got someone else in your team with a summon, you can get a troop back. And yeah, anyway. It's complicated, but it does work. But that was the basic meat and bones of it. Ulf Harrigan, very good troop indeed, dealing magic +3 true damage to 3 random enemies. If an enemy is wounded, deal 10 extra damage, then summon Ulf's mascot. So pretty cool. True banding, one of the most underused traits in the whole game. There's hardly anybody with true banding, you only look a handful of troops. But the more of them that you have, then you gain 1 to all skills. That banding trait, yeah, but that is one of the sort of things in the game that seem to have got like forgotten about completely by the devs. It's just there's literally about 3 or 4 troops in the game that use a true banding, which is quite funny. Anyway, well, I found it funny. Oh, ha ha ha. And is that it? Or was there one more? Nothing. That's it. That's it. I've got a funny feeling that is. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so who gets my mythic of the half week? Because it is half week, isn't it? It's like the... Gotta get used to saying that. Anyway, so who we got? We have the Sparkinator. It can be a bit annoying, a bit rubbish if the enemy uses it or the AI uses it. Can be very tanky if you use it, but it just makes for a bit of a slow and dull game, and certainly not everybody's a cup of tea, coffee, or hot chocolate, or even orange squash. Archdruid Blackwood, true damage to all is pretty good with a boost, so it's not too bad at all. And there's another one somewhere. It was so good we actually went past him without actually noticing it was there. Yeah, him. Easily done. Dread Captain Grim. Enough said about that. The better. So for me, the Mythic of the Week is going to be the Bane of Ambition. Chance to get a Devour. Really cool troop. Do like it a lot, and it's not a chance actually. You can you know if you're going to get it or not if there are 13 or more skulls on the board. Obviously, the enemy cannot be immune to Devour. If it is, that won't work. But yeah, very powerful spell and very good in a skull-based team as well with that creative Bone Storm when its turn begins. So just for pure fun reasons, and it's just so effective in so many teams, Bane of Ambition gets my Mythic of the half week. Now on to the Wild Evently Law of Blood. Now you'll see in my medals list up here, you're going to add these medals of strife. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Huge boosts in damage. 160% spell damage with these boosted. And they do stack. You can put on the medals and you can even add a badge. If it's not evolved yet, you're still going to get a 40% spell increase for all troops in this event from that. So absolutely fantastic. Let's now go to that event. So basically, you're going to go to the shop and buy whatever tiers you require. Really good. They're all good though, because at tier 1, you get the very handy Potion of Enchantment, enchanting all allies at the start of battle for this event only, and you pick up event sigils, troops, gold, the usual malarkey. Tier 2, you pick up the Potion of Explosion. Combined with that potion of enchantment, this makes these kind of events really quick to get going and get cast on your troops. Exploding 4 gems at the start of battle. Again, for this event only, and you get tokens of strife. So as we said, we can collect them, evolve them to a medal, and you get more troops, more sigils, more gold, more stuff, and so it goes on. And you can buy as many of these if you like. And when you get to tier 7, really handy, because you even get potions of power at this point, where you get 7 to all skills on all allies. This is why some people can blast through events really quickly, because they've just bought a ton of these to boost themselves up and just one-shot the opponents in a single go, which you can imagine how powerful that is when you've got like 3 lots of those medals of strife on at the same time. So yeah, medal of strife on. It sounds like a thing, doesn't it? What medal you got? I got a medal of strife on. All right. Makes you very powerful. Right, anyway, let's take a look at a team and go on over the scoring system. There are 6 battles you can encounter during this event. Void Portal, Bloodspore, Draxius, Niamel, Arbrath, and Okronos the Sleeper. The battles are chosen randomly, and they all have an equal chance of appearing on the map. This is why I say it's a simplified event, because quite often the early battles are the ones that appear first, and after a certain amount of battles, the better ones start appearing, but straight away, the higher scoring or the better reward giving battles are available, if you're lucky, straight away. But Void Portal gives 4 lore, Bloodspore gives 8 lore, Draxius gives 8 lore, Niamel gives 10 lore, Arbrath also gives 10 lore, and Okronos the Sleeper gives 12 lore. Each lore is worth 3 points, and as the battles get harder, they will also increase the amount of lore they give by 25%. So basically always do the highest level battle that you can. Right, so on to a battle, and let's show the team. Various ways you can go about this. This is going to be a really good way to do this, but you can have other options as well. There's a no mythic option, of course, but you can also go about it another way as well, which are going to be very effective as well. Like you can have a couple of Luna instead of Queen Bees doing normal damage, but with those medals, it's going to be a very nice boost indeed. Absolutely fantastic. And exploding a random gem when matching yellow gems with 2 of them gets them charged up very quickly indeed as well. You can also have a little bit of Queen Xochi with a very obvious distraction tactics there via feathers, which may flap around a bit, but also doing damage to all. And if there's a storm, exploding 5 gems. A couple of her with Stormcore the class to make sure you got that storm and a yellow storm at the same time. Going to be really good for her. That's going to be absolutely awesome. And you can also have a little bit of Starflower. Starflower, still absolutely fantastic troop. Damage to wall. Look at this. This is like, for me, this is like near mythic level. So she's awesome. Like, deal 56 damage to all enemies, boosted by ally and enemy Fae, summon a random Fae, and a 20% chance to transform an enemy to a pixie. That's amazing. That's better than so many mythics. It's nuts. And a 50% chance to fairy fire a random enemy at the start of my turn. 2 of her, and gain 1 magic when an ally casts a spell, and reduce damage from the spells. She's amazing. That's really fantastic troop. So a couple of her, and you've got them 50% chances to fairy fire a random enemy at the start of your turn. Combine that with a medal boost, she could be doing nuts damage. But just because everybody likes Queen Bee, and everyone's got Queen Bee, or most people have anyway, we'll go with a couple of Queen Bee teams. Now this works really well with the Daughter of Time as well, and there's also a really nice combination you can do with the Daughter of Time as well, with Kronos. Where is he? There, look at this. Damage to all enemies, convert all blue to hourglass, which are yellow, and also enchant all allies when I get an extra turn, as well as gain 1 magic when an ally casts a spell. He works fantastically well with the Daughter of Time as well. But this is going to work really well with this, because Queen Bee, as a lot of you will know, creates 9 green and 9 brown gems. Then deals a lot of true scatter damage. There are independent 40% chances to gain an extra turn and half her mana back, so she can loop on her own, which is really cool. Gain 1 magic when an ally casts a spell, and cleanse all allies when matching 4 or more gems is really cool. So she can do a lot of damage and loop, and remember, combined with that medal, she can do a lot of damage, 2 of them. But we can have this as well, because remember she creates green and brown. The green feeds into the whole team, and the brown feeds into Mystic Manuscript. This can charge up, that will then explode purple gems. Don't care if it's exploding gems of a colour we're not actually using, because obviously you pick up the other colours at the same time. You then grant a random status effect to Mystics and summon a Mystic at the same time. And it's enchanting itself as well. So as soon as you cast this, it gets ready to do it again. And it's going to work really, really well in this class at the same time, because we can have a 50% start on mana, be reduced damage from skulls by 50% in Geomancer. And look at the way these work. They just combine so well. Impact. Inflict stun when enemies deal skull damage. We can have anti-magic sphere, reduce damage from spells by 20%. We can have Tactician, gain 3 magic at the start. We can have Rock Solid. Remember Queen Bee, creates all them brown. As soon as we match brown, we get a barrier. We're going to have a barrier pretty much non-stop in this game. Tree of Knowledge. She also creates green. When we match green, we get enchanted. So absolutely awesome combination. And Fortitude, immune to stun, poison, disease, and all the rest of it. So very, very good indeed. And Daughter of Time is here because she has a 50% chance to convert a yellow gem to an hourglass gem when her turn begins. And she also creates 5 hourglass gems and freeze gems and gains an extra turn. And freeze gems are blue, so it just works out so well. And when you cast your Mystic Manuscript, you're going to explode gems and most likely take out one of those hourglass gems, thus getting an extra turn, no matter what. Because when you explode or destroy a hourglass gem, you get an extra turn, even if you are frozen. So it's going to work really, really well. We can be in a mushroom banner for this. +2 green, +1 brown, -1 red. So let's jump in and have a couple of battles. If you don't have Daughter of Time, you can chuck in another Queen Bee, 3 of them. Why not? It's going to work because with the Potion of Explosion and stuff, it's just going to happen there straight away. See, we've got an hourglass gem there, didn't quite take it out then, but it didn't really matter. Queen Bee was ready anyway and going to wipe out. So if you don't have Daughter of Time, you can chuck in another Queen Bee. You can go to the Underworld to get her from the Deep Hive by opening some of your thingies down there. What should we get? Should we get green? Oh no, we get that first. Just because. And we explode in purple. That's going to take out this hourglass gem. Looks, we're going to get an extra turn no matter what. Really, really cool. And Queen Bee is ready to go. I do love the way it creates those hourglass gems with the Daughter of Time here, because when you cast your Mystic Manuscript, any hourglass gem that's next to a purple, you are going to be getting an extra turn, thus making the whole thing a bit quicker. We'll just do another couple of levels here and then we'll jump forward a bit. What should we do? That's ready next round anyway, but hey ho. It is what it is. Let's explode them. Have we got any green? Yes, we have. We've got green and yellow, look. So going to be very straightforward until the upper reaches of this world event, when it will start to get a little bit trickier. I have to double cast maybe, depending upon your magic level. But remember, when you get that 4 match, you get the cleanse as well from Queen Bee. Like if you get this here, you're going to get a 4 match there if you're entangled or anything. You'll cleanse it all off. And just absolutely blitz through in a stinging sensation. I've jumped forward a little bit when things are supposed to be getting a little bit trickier. Level 100 Ochronos Sleeper here, but still very straightforward. Just the team charges itself pretty much at the beginning. You can cast a Daughter of Time to create blue and yellow, and it all works rather well, really. So we've got this hourglass gem next to a purple here, so when we cast this, if we don't get a 4 match, we're going to get an extra turn anyway, which charges up the team really, really quick. Does usually work a little bit better than that, to be fair, but hey, it is what it is. We're ready with Queen Bee next round anyway, so I'm just going to take anything, really. Let's grab that. Queen Bee is up. She'll do ridiculous damage because of those medals. Has a chance of an extra turn as well. Right, last one then. Let's do a level 115 Ochronos the Sleeper. Let's put him to sleep. He needs a nap. No good looking at the board, first of all, when you've got the Potion of Explosions going on, because it's going to be different anyway, and Queen Bee's up straight away. And it's going to be over for them. And that is how easy it's going to be for a lot of the time. And that's, I haven't even cast the second Queen Bee yet. So this is going to be a very straightforward world event. Even if you're a newer player with stats not as high as mine, because of that medal, this is going to be a really, really powerful team to carry you through this world event. Now onto the Underspire team with a Mythic option at the same time. But I'll show you the no Mythic team first I've got here. We've got 2 times Nyarmel, got the Infernal Vulge, and Eldritch Minion. A pretty cool team this. You can actually swap these 2 round if you like, especially if you're a newer player to the game where you can't take too many skull hits before you die. But Nyarmel, excuse me, Nyarmel is handy up top because it inflicts a death mark when doing skull damage, as well as stun a random enemy when an enemy casts a spell, which is cool. But it does true heavy splash damage to an enemy boosted by its stone blocks and explodes all stone blocks, then creates 3 stone blocks. So lots of damage and can get some mana back at the same time. Infernal Vulge is here because it does normal damage to an enemy, which doesn't mix fantastically well with the true damage, but it does then create a huge mix of red and purple. So that is really, really cool. And we're a Daemon as well, so that's going to be the maximum amount of red and purple, and every single bit feed into both these Nyarmels, which charges them up really quickly. So basically you're going to try and get this charged up immediately at the very start of the game. So look out for blue and brown. If you don't like the risk of having that up top and dying easily, then you can actually chuck in this one here, the Old Mage's Staff. Have this up top, explode, magic +1 purple gems, grant a random status effect to all Karakoth allies, then summon a Karakoth troop, or even just leave it where it is in second place, because if you lose that Nyarmel, you can cast your Old Mage's Staff and get a summon back. That is a pretty cool way to go. So this will work pretty well, and we get a quick start with this as well, because Eldritch Minion is here, starts battles with full mana, converts all brown to purple. If the enemy is cursed, gain half my mana back. So you can do that to get the Nyarmels charged up quickly, and if you get no alignment on that, you can look out for some normal brown and blue matches to charge up the weapon that way. So that would work whatever way comes first, basically. Another good way to go about this, if you have the troops, is to have a Media sticker in the team, damage to all, enchant all daemons and barrier all ally mystics, and she's a mystic herself. And if you combine that with the Elder Dragon, that's not a bad mix at all. Damage to all enemies, create 9 cursed gems, which is brown, boosted by cursed enemies, and eliminate 3 magic from all enemies when matching 4 or more gems. Again, uses purple and brown, which means it can get charged up in that team very quickly indeed. But we'll roll with this one. No Mythic alternative will have the Knight Banner, +2 purple, +1 brown, -1 yellow. Yeah, that'll do. It's probably a different alternative for that if you fancy it. And different options for Daemon class. I'm going to go for Sorcerer. Do like chance to gain 50% magic every turn, even though it doesn't really affect it that much because we're doing normal damage. And Magic Link, gain extra purple is nice. But the talent trees are pretty cool. Serendipity, give a random status effect to an ally. Dark Hunger, steal 1 life from the first enemy by matching purple, which we do a lot. Plague Bearer, disease a random enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches. Dusk's Aura, start a Dark Storm at the start, that's purple. Stealthy, cannot be targeted by spells and Tree of Knowledge. Gain enchant with matching Dream, but don't do that, but you can get random drops and things like that, or you could have a little bit of one of these 2 here, whatever you fancy. You can have Rising Shadows, do like that. A 7% chance to assassinate the last enemy when another enemy dies. The other Daemon classes are pretty cool as well. You can have a look at them if you like. You can have a bit of Doom Messiah. Do like Swift Curse, Death Mark a random enemy at the start of battle. Good luck reading this if you're looking at it on a phone, by the way. And Diabolist similarly as well. Pretty cool as well, again with Swift Curse. So yeah. But as long as we've got Daemons in our team, we are good to go. Right, let's take it out there for a few battles then. Make sure you always grab your free lantern from Matey Boy Hatface. Get that. Move on up through the Underspire and have a battle. Remember, we are looking for brown or blue first if we can. Get that Infernal Vulge up. That'll charge up our Nyarmels really quickly. But if we have alignment on this, it's certainly worth doing, getting that brown to purple, because it could charge up the Nyarmels absolutely instantly. Right, so let's see what happens at the start of the game. So we're looking for brown to purple. We got a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here and there, but if it's not like a full match, it's sometimes not worth doing. But I'll go for it anyway, because it is decent. If you get a mana surge, you're going to get charged up, and then we can do some of that damage. Do it on the middle opponents, because it's splash damage, so you take out the, or do damage to the troops either side at the same time. And now we can look to get up our weapon here, the Infernal Vorge. Or look out for a skull hit, either or, whatever happens first. We don't mind. We've got some blue. There you go, there's our Vorge that will take out the enemy at first, provide the damage, but also charge up our Yarmels really quickly at the same time. Like I say, if you're new to the game or you fancy, doing something different, you can chuck in the Explodey Summony weapon, because this team is a little bit risky on the higher levels of Underspire. If you lose a top troop, you lose one of your main damagers. I'll check out them without thinking again. Got to remember to look at this thing at the beginning, brown to purple. But I think I looked at it really quickly in my sort of all-round vision-y thing that you do when you're taking the whole board at one time, and didn't really see anything there, so I think it was safe. Oh, look at this. Even though we've got this, I'm still going to do this just because it's really cool to do, and you can create other stuff at the same time. Remember, stick it in the middle of the troops to benefit from the splash damage. Does damage to the troop that you aimed at and the troop above and below. Splash damage is actually pretty cool. Look out for any brown to purple, nothing doing, so we'll look out for our Infernal Vorge, so we'll look out for some blue or brown, and we got none of that either. That's just the way it goes sometimes. I swear the game knows what you want to do sometimes and says, ha 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 ha, not today, I'm going to play around with you a little bit and be annoying. That's right, I don't care, because you will die anyway. Have we got any brown to purple still? No. We'll just collect red then, and send them on their merry way. We can get skull hit first, take it, because then we can do this splash damage on that troop and finish the others off. Ooh, let's have a look at this treasure room and see if we get lucky. I had a book of D to one of these the other day, which was pretty cool. Alright, so we've got, again, not a lot on the brown to purple. But we've got an extra turn here, so that'll do. That's sometimes why I don't pick these troops, these ones that were used to be popular in certain game types, particularly Guild Wars on the old style. They were popular in a lot of teams, but I don't like it sometimes when the troop is there, ready to cast, but you can't cast them because it doesn't make any sense with what's on the board. Or you're going to set the enemy up, or you're not going to get a 4-match, or you hardly get any mana from it, and so on. So let's see if we can get our troop up. A bit of an annoying slow going restriction one, this one, but hey, we can take him out that way. Get loads of mana for the team. Right, and that is it. That is the Underspire video, and the other videos done too. So there's a video. If you enjoyed it, found it useful or helpful, it'd be really cool if you bash that like and hype and subscribe button and all that other malarkey. It helps out an absolute ton. But thanks for watching, and bye for now. And Merry Christmas, everyone. Nearly forgot to say, this is the last one for Christmas. So everyone has a really good Christmas. Get all the things you want in your stocking, in your presents, and eat a load of really nice nosh and all that tomfoolery. So Merry Christmas, and I'll catch you again real soon. Bye for now.